You guys ever had like a whole bucket list of all the things that you wanted to do, but sometimes those things just get thrown in the back of our heads because you gotta prioritize your life and all that, right? Or it could also be other things like fear, like restarting, not knowing how to do anything, being afraid of being judged. And I totally get that. There's a reason why it took me so long to start doing YouTube. And that's why I'm making this video, because I bought a car. Esau. Gotta close the door because the neighbor is cutting grass right now. It's really loud. But is the car new? No. Are there some missing parts in it? For sure. But does it work? Yeah, 100%. So one of the things that I've always wanted to do was start a project car. Get like a really old functioning car, fix it up, and then customize it to my own liking. And I can understand how hard it is to get into because A, the cost, B, not gonna look good all the time, and C, not everything's going to be going well if you're going to be trying to fix it up, especially if you're going to be rebuilding something very important in the vehicle like the engine. And let me tell you something, I know nothing about cars, which really doesn't help with my situation at all, but it was something that I've always wanted to do, and so I got it. And I'll be honest, in the beginning I was a little worried about not being able to inspect literally everything in the car just to make sure that everything functionally is perfect for me to just customize it, But at this point I saw it working pretty well, and so I saw the vision, I saw the potential behind it, and that's why I got it. And honestly, things like whether if it was worth it or not, or whether if I'll regret it in the future, doesn't really matter anymore because I've already put myself into the situation, and fortunately it doesn't really affect anybody. And sometimes if you have a sheer curiosity for things, you really gotta find a way in you to just try to get that push to try and start something. And whether if that inspiration comes from this video or your friends or anybody else, anything that can help you explore, I'd say that you should embrace it pretty much. Because at the very least, if I'm gonna be dying anyways, I'm happy that I gave myself the opportunity to go out and explore and try the things that I've always wanted to try. And let's take a quick look at the car right now. You can see that there's a lot of work to do. Cleaning stuff up, look at that computer just laying on the floor right there. But the main thing that I was looking for was that it actually drives, and it drives very well for now. So I'm glad I actually have this type of opportunity to actually get it up and be legal pretty much. And that's the one thing, this car actually drives and functions well. Everything else works in here. It's just that I just gotta refurbish everything, all the extra stuff. So let's hear the vehicle a little bit. Let me rev it up a little bit. That's pretty much it. Bro, the neighbor's still cutting grass, so I have to film in here for now. But of course, if anybody sees that you're trying to start something new, they're 100% gonna pick that up, and there's always gonna be some sort of criticism going along with it. Even if the decision was made by your own choice and it doesn't affect anybody, there's always gonna be criticism. Even for me, when I got that thing, there was already a lot of this, a lot of that, bro. If anything, it's more of like a test of reality, see whether or not you're capable of keep going through despite of all this type of negativity going around you. Even for me, I just got the thing. I don't want to go up and just sell it right away. I would at least like to make an attempt to make it my very own thing, It's just one of those obstacles that you just gotta go through pretty much. And if you see a vision of what it could look like, if you committed, then why not just go for it, honestly? Now let's say you're 100% in your decision already and you want to start, but you don't know where. The most realistic thing I can just say is to just start with where you can start, You don't have to stress about getting every single type of equipment, tool, circumstance, when you have yourself to start with. And in my case, I don't exactly have the necessary tools yet, but what I can do right now is pretty much just clean up the inside of this car, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. Okay. Vocabulary worksheet. And they didn't even do it. What a bad kid. Throw this shit away. Wow. free screwdriver. Oh my god, I recorded everything in slow-mo. That's so trash. But I was pretty much saying that there's really not much for me to do aside from just picking out the trash and stuff. I was using a wrench to try to take out the bolts and the seats, but like they're like so bolted down, and it's like it's such a struggle, and I don't wanna snap a wrench, so I'm gonna be waiting for the date. I'm gonna be using a drill. What I'm pretty much trying to take away from this whole experience are the skills that I'm gonna be learning while I work on this vehicle. Also the struggle, I guess, but everybody pretty much just says that like the struggle is like the journey and all that. I mean, I somewhat agree, but at the same time I would like this vehicle to be running up and safe. It's still legal now and I can drive it, but I just gotta repair all the important stuff so I can preserve the engine more. But even on this first step, I could already feel how pretty slow it is. So I'm kind of trying to just embrace it, you know? Also, during the past few days where I have class, I've pretty much just been doing like my fair share of research on the car and trying to get an understanding of it so I don't fuck up anything when I'm working on it, right? So let me just bring the hood up for you. So this is the engine pretty much. You can already tell there's some like weird ass defects over here. That's completely unsafe, and it's missing an air filter. But so far this engine's good. These are called motor mounts. This is actually crack, these ones, so I have to replace them. I believe this towel here was placed because the battery's too small, I believe. So yeah, I mean, it looks like everything is okay-ish, like everything's functional. It's just that I have to replace the things that have to be replaced. There's also this hanging wire over here. That's super dangerous, but I believe it's connected to a light. The owner told me that he put LED lights in it, so I believe this doesn't do anything. But nonetheless, we gotta take that out somehow. If you look closely here, this is the muffler. I was driving it into my driveway and it hit a rock and it fell off, so I just put it in the back seat, which is kind of embarrassing, honestly. And this is pretty much what it is. It's a Honda Civic and it has a smiley face on it. I'll be honest, sometimes I do think about whether if I'm making a mistake or not, or if I could have just been more patient and just chose another car, you know? That's kind of like the issue that I've been dealing right now. And like I said, whether if you regret it or not, once you made that decision, you pretty much just gotta commit to it, you know? I don't know. Despite that car being a piece of junk, I'm very drawn to pieces of junk for some reason. The idea of just like taking rundown or unused objects and just refurbishing it sounds a lot of fun to me. Be creative, turn this one thing into your own, kind of like developing an identity for it. I think that's what I really enjoy about just like refurbishing things. Every now and then I'd get curious about something, maybe a little obsessive, just like searching things up. At this point in my life, I'm in class right now, I'm not really working that much, so pretty much be safe with my money. This is more of like a long-term project for me, so I'm not really in a rush to fix it back up like that, as long as it still runs. But honestly, if anyone wants to speed up the process, maybe if you want to donate or something, I don't know, speed up the process, you'll just be paying for content pretty much. But on a side note, in some or most cases, restarting will either be a really good or a really bad thing. But either the way, we pretty much have to be prepared for the situation, right? So why not just embrace the sudden change in your life? I kind of like to think positively, think of it as a whole new experience for you, kind of like a new event in your life that you can go through. And of course, pretty much how you see it is going to be very important too, right? So any event in your life can turn down or turn up really quick just by the lens in your eyes. But we also got to be realistic, right? There's definitely going to be new struggles, new negative events that's going to happen to you. It's just life. Because if you start like a new project and you're just negative all the time, then it's probably a sign where you probably should just like quit in order to save the insanity. But in the end, if you can clearly see a vision in this new thing that you want to try out, try not to hesitate as much as you can. You don't want regrets at the end of your life. There's really nothing more to it. So this is pretty much the end of the video. But if you do want to see more videos of me like working on it and stuff, just comment down below. I'll see you guys on the next video. Shoots.